Well, this was quite the game, and to nobody's surprise, the Carolina Hurricanes end up winning at home. For some reason, when the Hurricanes are in the series, everybody who's the home team is going to win. We have been through COVID bubbles now where home ice advantage felt like it was kind of going away, but now it's back in full effect, especially if you're playing the Canes. The fans that are a bunch of jerks, they're on fire. The line matching of Ron Brind'Amour can't be stopped at home, but they're going to have to find a way to do it on the road. I mean, they can close out the series at home, but if these guys want to advance and keep advancing in the playoffs, being able to win one on the road feels like it should be important, but they will have home ice advantage going throughout the playoffs. The New York Rangers look like they get beat pretty badly in the shot count and on the scoreboard. This looked like a bit of a massacre from the Carolina Hurricanes. They almost just bored the New York Rangers to death is what it felt like. Over 30 shots for the Canes, under 20 shots for the Rangers. Igor Shesterkin twirling towards freedom. Jacob Trouba booed out of the building. Max Domi back in after taking a huge hit off the head. What did you expect? It's a Domi concrete up there. Love it. Jordan Staal with filthy sauce. Seth Jarvis no longer with any teeth. Coach Ryan D with a slash clearly on the face. So go ahead, comment about that down below, and we'll go ahead. We'll talk about it. As we said in this game, shots 34-17 for the Carolina Hurricanes. Home ice matters here, and we've kind of beaten this horse to death, but if you're new to this series, new to this channel, let's recap why. It's because of the line matching and the effectiveness of the Jordan Staal line. When you look at the three lines for the Carolina Hurricanes, they're well balanced. There's teams with way better first lines in the NHL than the Aho line from Carolina, but they play well enough. The second line for Carolina is a very good second line, and the third line for Carolina is the most effective third line in the NHL at doing one thing, and that is shutting down goal scorers. When you think about how lines work from a percentage base in hockey based on their ice time on the ice, the money they're paid, and the contributions you expect from four lines, they break down something like this. Your first line is tasked with scoring 30 to 50% of your points. Some teams have a top-heavy first line. See the Edmonton Oilers, they're expected to score at least half. Other teams have an even-Steven first line, like the New York Rangers, so the Zibanejad and the Strome line, they're about expected to do a 30-30 split. So you have some first lines that act as like a line 1A, and then there's a line 2, which is basically a line 1B, and you just call it a top 6. Then you got other teams like Edmonton that clearly have a line 1, 2, 3, and 4, and there's a difference. The point of it is that if you have a third line that can shut down somebody, and really the third line shutdown line is starting to go away. Most teams have transitioned to what Tampa Bay has, which is a scoring third line. They want guys like Hagel, Colton, and Paul to be popping in more points to balance out that scoring to make them harder to check. Thank the Pittsburgh Penguins in their Stanley Cup win for teams wanting that. It is a copycat leagues. Teams started following that, but Rod the Bod said, no way, man. We got some veterans here on the third line. They can do one thing. They can do it well, and that is shut down your best line. And if you take away 30 to 50% of a team's offense by taking out their first line, it's done. It's going to be over. It is very hard to win a hockey game when you are relying on line 2 and line 3 to put up your points. Because remember, the best you can hope for from a team like the New York Rangers is 30% of your offense from line 2, and you're going to get 10, maybe 15% of your offense from line 3. So you're really going to only be left with a team that's running at about 70% if it's a 30% first line, if you have the Jordan Staal line out there. And if the Staal line ends up taking away a line that is even more important to you, so if you feel the Zibanejad line is that much further ahead than the Strome and Panarin line, then they could be leaving you with 60% of your offense left. It just neuters you in this hockey game. Staal is one of the best at it. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of the shift breakdowns in minutes so you can see what I mean. We come over here to shiftchart.com. Carolina is in red. New York is in blue. This goes ahead, shows you the shift count. Well, you can see here, and we're going to come back to these defensemen in a minute. Take a look at Vincent Trocheck. He is the guy that ends up with the most amount of ice time here for the Carolina Hurricanes. And you got Aho, Teravainen, Niederreiter, and Svechnikov. But when you come down here, yes, it's 3 defensemen. After that, you end up with Panarin, Strome, Zibanejad, and that is kind of what you're looking at. It's the Zibanejad line that the Staal line ends up getting paired against, and that is why Strome and Panarin end up with so much more ice time, because they know that Jordan Staal is going to take away Zibanejad. So yes, Zibanejad's line has about 19 minutes. Let's go ahead. We take a look at Jordan Staal over here. Jordan Staal has 15 minutes. Why the difference? Because Zibanejad plays on special teams. Jordan Staal may go ahead and play on the kill. Zibanejad plays on the power play. So best case scenario is Zibanejad is getting away from Jordan Staal for 4 to 5 minutes a game. That's not a lot of time for him to do work and to do damage 5-on-5. So you end up neutering that. Gallant responds by making sure that Panarin and Strome get more ice time and they're out there more often, because you're expecting Panarin and Strome. You need them when you are on the road against Carolina. You need them to score. You need them to make up for the lack of what is going to happen on the Zibanejad line thanks to the Staal line. So Staal, fast, need a rider. They end up taking out one of the lines, and there's really not much of an answer you're going to do. I mean, when you take a look here, even Lafreniere, Vetrano, you go ahead and look at these guys who are playing down here in the third line. They're not getting enough minutes, and they're just not as talented as what you're going to see in the top six. So the expectations for them to score are lower. It gives a great advantage to the Carolina Hurricanes having that Staal line do what they have to do. Also, speaking of lines, remember I said defensive depth kind of matters-ish, but not as much as people give it credit for? It's because when you take a look here at both these teams, it's just a great way to give that example. Jacob Slavin, he ends up playing nearly half the game at 27 minutes. Like I said, your top elite defenseman, he's going to be a horse. He's going to play a lot of time. Look, Jacob Trouba here, 25 minutes. Adam Fox, 24 minutes. Then you go ahead and you've got Slay, D'Angelo, and Pesce. You basically have the entire game being played by 4 defensemen. Sure, you got Ian Cole down here, but they're really just giving it a rest. Cole and Smith, they're mixing in every third, fourth shift at best. And it's the same thing down here with New York. I said you need 3 defensemen to carry you, really. Defensive depth is overrated as long as you're healthy, because you end up with Trouba, Fox, and Miller doing most of the work here in terms of defense. Even Lindgren has a good amount of minutes, but not nearly as much as these 3. So you can carry through with a strong top 4. You can really hide your bottom pairing defenseman. And it really just kind of lends to the fact that if you have a busted up bottom 3 for your D, but you have an elite top 3, you can definitely get through and win a Stanley Cup with that. Would you want depth? Absolutely. Everybody wants to be the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Colorado Avalanche when it comes to roster depth. Not everybody can be, and it doesn't mean either of them are going to guaranteed to win a Stanley Cup. Depth doesn't equal cup. Performance on the ice equals cup. You all know my favorite player in this series is Seth Jarvis. Why? Because he's a good, tough Canadian kid, and he actually is a kid. He's 20 years old, Winnipeg, Manitoba, native born. He is an unbelievable player because he does everything the right way. When you have a budding superstar like Seth Jarvis, who is young, who is willing to put his face in front of pucks and sticks to keep pucks out of the back of his net, that is how we call good, tough Canadian hockey. I get it. Americans, Swedes, they do it as well too. Hockey players are just tough, but we got a lot of hometown pride here in that type of stuff. So Seth does it the way his heroes did it on TV, the way his announcers, favorite people talked about it, coaches talked about it, and he sacrifices to win a Stanley Cup. Why? Because teeth can be replaced, cups live forever. So this kid is not only an offensive dynamo, he's not only a defensive dynamo, he not only takes cross checks in front of the net and then ends up scoring goals, but he takes sticks to the face to keep pucks out of the net. His teammates love him. The league is going to love him. You're going to know this name. It's going to be around for 15 years. The kid is on fire. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at it. That puck is coming over right here into the slot for Ryan Strome, and Jarvis leads with his face. We do not teach kids to block shots this way. He isn't looking to block the shot. He's looking to keep that puck out of there altogether. So he ends up diving across life, limb, and face, and he takes it right in the teeth. Yikes. Unbelievable. We won't show you the gruesomeness after, but he is spitting up some blood. I assure you, chiclets are loose or gone at this point in time. They have to be. I've taken this stick to the face the exact same way Jarvis did. The difference is Jarvis is a way better player. Jarvis is paid to do this. Jarvis has a better dental plan than I did, and Jarvis may win a Stanley Cup because of it. Seth is awesome. This is an incredible play. He just keeps raising the bar for young players in the NHL. He does everything the right way, and to see such a complete two-way player doing this for his team, unbelievable. I can't wait. This guy's going to be wearing an A or a C on his jersey before you know it. And before we get over to our goals, remember, go ahead, join our Discord. You can be in there. When I was pumping Seth's tires, I'm like, he'll be back in 2 shifts. You know how I'll know he'll be back in 2 shifts? He's Seth freaking Jarvis, man. Seth freaking Jarvis. The guy was back in 2 shifts. You get a little needle in the mouth. Maybe you didn't even take it. Who knows? Tough guy. You put the teeth back in. The trainer cleans it out with alcohol. They get the blood out of the way. You stick them back down. You're young enough that they'll stay. You don't need implants. Don't worry. Go ahead. Put a little retainer in there. They'll lock back up into your jaw. It's how teeth work. You end up going back out there, and 2 shifts later, what are you doing? You're on the offensive rush trying to score. That's why hockey players are some of the toughest in the world. That's why we all respect them, why we all love them. And you can join that conversation in Discord too by joining down below and interacting with all of us. You can also go support this channel by giving us the biggest thumbs up down below if you're loving the content. Bunch of jerks and Ranger fans. You can go ahead, smash subscribe. 80% of you have been watching these videos repeatedly. Why not hit subscribe? Have it show up in your feed. Go ahead, hit that notification bell. I dare you. You get a little bit of hockey knowledge. We'll have fun talking along the way. I really want you to be part of this growth pattern in this channel. It's free. It helps us out. And if you want to support this channel further, you know we got that membership page down below. So if you want to be a premium supporter of us, hit the join button down below. 3 different tiers of options, whole bunch of different perks for each tier. Go ahead, join the coaches staff like these beauties here. We just had a few new members join in, so shout out to our executive suites as well as our lower bowl members, and big thank you to our upper bowl members as well too. Those are our 3 tiers. They match arena seating. Why wouldn't they? But I promise you the beers don't cost $14 here. Coach, you don't serve beer, and you only have to be over the age of 13 to join the Discord and be on YouTube. You're right. Milk for everybody. And if membership isn't your thing, you know we got that super thanks down below if you want to go ahead and throw a tip for all our hard work. But just being here, being you, commenting, being awesome, throwing the thumbs up, that's all we need. And it's free. You guys rock. This content will always be there. It'll always be free for you. We're growing to 200,000 in 7 years. But we'll see you then. We said in the Colorado game last night, if you've been following all of our videos, that when a defenseman's carrying it up, you want to go ahead and look to bump it out or rim it hard around and have your players chase it. Why? Because if you cause a turnover at the line with the defenders being this aggressive, it's going to end up in the back of your net. So Jacob Trouba right here, the guy that hit Max Domi, well, much to the, let's call it, enjoyment of the fans in Carolina, ends up turning it over. He is being booed relentlessly right now. I love Carolina fans for their activity and participation in their team's victories. They are booing Trouba out of the building, and maybe those boos got to him. They can hear it. They can hear it. I promise you. They love it for the most part. They see it as a compliment. But maybe the boos get to him. They end up turning it over. Jordan Staal is going to go ahead and filter him down to the blue line. And then what's going to end up happening is his partner is going to step up, and Trocheck is going to make the play on the puck. And now you're caught. This is why you got to bump it out. You got to be careful as defensemen here. This is why I say Trouba's dumb as a sack of hammers. He's a good player, but he is a north to south player. 1 + 1 = 2, and that is as far as it goes for Jacob Trouba. Jordan Staal carries that puck down the left side, and then we see my favorite play in the NHL, a defenseman laying down. I do not like the lay down. You know why. If you've been on this channel, let me know below in the comments. Hit pause. Tell me why you don't lay down before we tell you. I know you know the answer. Jordan Staal is going to go ahead and spread sauce all over the ice. Whatever sauce he wants to spread at this point in time, because he just torches them. Trocheck ends up going towards the net. Shesterkin's not going to have a chance here. The puck's going to end up going in. Why do we not like the laydown? Because you can't recover from it. What we'd rather see our defensemen doing is holding their lane and trying to push Jordan Staal to the outside while not giving up this pass. You do not want to allow the cross ice pass. Cross ice passes across what we call the Royal Road is a 30% chance to score. If you can make that pass 30% of the time, it is going to go in the back of the net. It's the hardest shot to save for a goalie. So go ahead, let the player get to the top of the circle. Let him take a shot. It is under 10%, that puck is going to go in the net. So if you have a choice as a defenseman, do you want your goalie to have a 90% chance to make the save or a 70%? Make the right play, because the laydown just doesn't work. Beautiful, beautiful sauce. Boom, in the back of the net. 30%. Cha-ching, baby. That's a goal, and that's a third line goal, shorthanded thanks to Jacob Trouba carrying it up. The bunch of jerks get some redemption. Hey, look, you guys know my opinion about Trouba. I got no dislike for the guy for real. He just left Winnipeg. He took our heart and said, I don't want to play in Winnipeg because I'm an American and love playing in America. And nobody can blame him. New York's the best city in the world. Bar none, no doubt. Ranger fans, you know we love Madison Square Garden in New York. You've heard me talk about it in the Discord. New York is fire. It's one of the best places I've ever visited in my life. The people there are awesome, but so is Carolina. I've been to Raleigh, great place as well too. 34 states and counting. Love traveling down below, going to see games. Maybe we'll come by your town one day too. Mr. Zibanejad ends up scoring on the power play. You know what we're going to say if you've watched these videos before. You know what we're going to say. Face-off theory wins goals. Face-off wins on power plays, scores goals. That's the way it happens. So I love this face-off. I love having the bread man right here. Why? Because if it's a neutral draw, you're going to have three guys that can push in here really quickly to battle for that puck. What's a neutral draw? Jordan Staal is going to try to tie up Zibanejad here. That's all he needs to do. He doesn't need to win the draw clean. He just needs to tie up Zibanejad and get that puck to kick out over here so they can end up leaving the zone and clearing it, especially shorthanded. All they got to do is one key little slap shot or wrist shot and it's out. However, if you lose this draw, it's trouble. And we know Jordan Staal has eaten Zibanejad for lunch in the face-off circle. Nom, 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 nom. But on this time, it is going to be Zibanejad, and he's going to win it clean back to Panarin. That's huge. The clean win does a couple things. We know this is a defenseman and this is a defenseman. They need to go ahead and bump out here. The trouble is now you've got to get out to your high guy. Jordan Staal has to release and get out. So now Zibanejad, it wants to tie up. That's what Zibanejad wants to do. He wants to tie up Jordan Staal in here. Look, we look like John Madden on the screen, just pink everywhere. You want to tie up Jordan Staal right here and make sure nobody can get out to that point so Panarin can do some damage. Panarin ends up moving that puck over to the defenseman. And then because of this, remember, we talk about the T intersection all the time. It's right where I drew it there. It looks like a T. That's why it's called it. We're not that inventive as hockey coaches. You end up going from Panarin to Fox, back to Panarin, and then what you're going to see is this lane open up near that T intersection. You always got to have a player there. So if you can get the penalty killers running around to leave that zone open, it needs to be plugged at all times. You end up having a cross ice pass. So it's great. Jordan Staal's stick in the lane. That's what you want to do. Stick's in the right position. Unfortunately, stick is not in the right position. It needs to be over here. His stick is over here. It is on the wrong side of the puck. Sticks in lanes matter. He's trying to get it over there, but it is too late. Panarin spreads the sauce, makes a beauty pass. Zibanejad, puck goes across the road. Raanta has no chance on a puck like this. 4 seconds into the power play. This is why getting offensive zone faceoffs on the power play is increased scoring in the NHL. Beautiful goal, beautiful draw. Nothing Carolina is going to be able to do on that. That's just the Rangers power play beating the Carolina penalty kill. It's no problem though, because Carolina is going to go ahead and answer back here at home because they have to win at home. It's just the way this goes. You got a 1-3-1 setup here. So 1, then you got your 3 guys here in the middle, and then you got your 1. Remember, 1-3-1 has a basically straight line of 3 players up the middle of the ice. Why? Because it lengthens and widens the zone. Length and width equal goals on power play. Very hard for penalty killers to stop. But what's beautiful about this is as we go forward, you're actually going to see a shift. So you're still in the 1-3-1 right now. You end up moving it up to the point, and then you start seeing something here. Can you see it? I'm going to give you a second before I tell you what it is. That play ends up moving over, and then this changes to what we call an overload. So an overload is when you have almost all of your players or all of your players on one side of the ice. And that's what you're going to see here. You don't see a lot of overloads these days because that favors the defense. But when you do it, sometimes you can get them out of position. So offenses will give you different looks. And then by overloading the zone, what do you see that ends up opening up? New York goes, oh boy, we don't know what to do here. Now we have 2 men on the point. We're used to only having 1. When you only have 1, that allows you to stack 2 penalty killers like so on the X's. And what is at the X? If you said T intersection, you are correct. It's right here. So that T intersection isn't covered. And what does that allow? A beautiful lane over to Teuvo. Overload makes a lane. They catch him sleeping. Teuvo's got an open net. This is the way you're going to beat Shesterkin. He ends up scoring, and it's Teuvo.
Who controls the British crown? Who keeps the metric system down? We do.
On Andrei Svechnikov becomes Andrei Strechnikov here. Hey, shout out to Andrei Strechnikov. He is in our lower bowl suites here for our members page. Svechnikov is down here. What you end up seeing as pucks end up going above the wall is that wingers need to stay in the zone below the puck until a turnover is complete or they have full control of the puck. So what you see is Svechnikov sitting here as the puck goes halfway around the boards, and he's not going to leave yet, and that's good. You want to stay on the right side of the puck. The puck is right here. The right side is between the puck and your net, so you can play good defense. But as soon as your team has 100% control of the puck on the wall, or a bank pass is coming out, you need 3 or 4 hard strides to the middle of the ice, and you need to stretch. That's why we're calling it Andrei Strechnikov, stretch the ice. All wingers are going to do this. Elite wingers get to use their speed. So he's come across the entire length of the ice. You're going to see 5 hard strides up the middle because he's sure he can get this puck, and he's going to end up burning Adam Fox with that speed. I mean, he's so fast. Fox gets aggressive here. He's very puck comfortable. Puck plus Fox's stick is a magnet. But in this case, good player meets good player. Elite on elite. Svechnikov picks his pocket, and he's faster than Fox. There's no question about it. Fox is a great skater, great puck mover. Svechnikov is gone. And now what you end up seeing is Svechnikov is going to go across the Royal Road. That line in the center. He's going to roll the puck this way, and then he's going to make one quick move and put it through the 5-hole. When you make that one quick move, it looks really simple, but it ends up opening up the 5-hole because the goalie has to make that movement. And the only way the goalie can make the movement is on his pads. His pads is how he moves. It's not his skates. So by making that movement, you'll see his 5-hole has to organically open up. Yes, there is a stick there. Yes, Shesterkin is in perfect position here, but you have to open up part of that 5-hole when you make that move. That's why players love to do the one move to the backhand and slide it in 5-hole. It is almost impossible to cover if the player hits it perfectly, which he does, and that leaves Shesterkin twirling towards freedom. And that's the game. That's how it gets won. Carolina, 3 perfect goals. Carolina outshoots them like crazy. They shut them down in the D zone. Line matching continues to be the story. Hey, look, New York, I think you're going to take game 6. This is going to 7. I had Carolina in 6, so maybe I get right, but I don't know. So far, they haven't been able to win one on the road, and that is because when they can't get that Staal line out there against the line they want, they end up struggling a little bit. I expect it will be the same thing, but who knows? Maybe they'll change the trend. That is why we play the game. So let me know who you think is going to win game 6 down below. Thanks for being here, everybody. We'll catch you in the next one.